Hey you guys, welcome back. We're doing our Sephora haul for the VIB holiday sale, I think is what they're calling it. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, I'll have the dates linked down below. Depending on your tier level, they have different dates. But if you guys still haven't seen your coupon, I'll have the description information down below for you guys to check out. I picked mine up this weekend. My mom and I went shopping, so we decided to pick up some stuff from Sephora. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all of the good stuff that I got. So if you guys want to see, then let's get into it. Ooh, look at that, you guys. Why is that so red? Please excuse this. This is all red. I have like a small pimple or something right here, and I started itching at it. So unattractive, but it is what it is. The very first item I picked up, if you guys watched my wish list, then you guys know I really wanted to get some of the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes, and I have a Sephora inside of a JCPenney. It is my closest one. I do have a bigger Sephora, but that one takes a little bit of a drive, so I typically only go to my Sephora in JCPenney or I order online. So my mom and I went into there and they actually had some of the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. In my wish list video, I mentioned that I really wanted to pick up the Amethyst and the Mauve. They didn't have those two, unfortunately, but they did have just a few different colors. So I ended up picking up the other one that I thought I wanted to get, but I was kind of on the fence. And this here is the Emerald palette. I was really happy that I got to swatch it inside of the store so I could really see what the palette was like. Once I swatched it, I knew right there that I really wanted to pick it up. So here is what it looks like. It comes with a total of 9 shades. It's got a mixture of shimmers and mattes. This one was the third choice I had, but I'm so happy I ended up picking it up because I really see myself playing around with this quite a bit. The one thing I will say about this entire palette, I love everything about it. It was really great that I got to swatch it in store. The only thing I do not care for in this palette is this shade right here. This one's more of like a topper, but it's very similar to her other palettes that have those like shimmer shadows that you have to use your fingers to apply with. Those I always have the most issue working with. So this is the only one. When I first saw it in the website, I was really excited. And then when I saw it in store, I saw the formula of it. And I was like, that's my least favorite one. But I can definitely make it work. I'm excited to play around with it and see what kind of looks I can create. I still plan to pick up the Amethyst and the Mauve palettes, so that is something that is actually being shipped right now for me. The next palette I picked up was also on my wish list. This has been something I've really wanted to get my hands on, but I knew for a fact that I didn't want to get it until I actually swatched it in store. My store luckily had just a few left, and I ended up picking up the Huda Beauty 3D Highlighting Palette. I ended up going in with the Golden Sands Edition. There was another one to choose from, although I felt like between those two, when I swatched them, this one was the one that I really enjoyed because I found that of all the shades in her palettes, this one had the most shades that I really thought would look good on my skin tone. The only one that I wasn't really impressed with was this one, which is called Zanzibar, but that's also because it's more of like a blush topper, and because I have texture, I don't really like to use blushes with any sort of shimmer in them because of my texture. I typically prefer anything more of a matte base. I'm really excited to play around with it. I've heard really great things about her formula for her highlighters, so I'm interested to play around with it and see what it's all about. The last thing I picked up from her line, the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. This is actually a product that I had no intentions to purchase. When she came out with it, I really just kind of brushed it off because I have so many concealers right now that I'm really trying to get through those concealers before I try anything else. Otherwise, I'll kind of forget about everything. So I decided not to try it out, but my mom and I were in the store and we were swatching it, and she actually was the one that was swatching it. And when I was looking at it, I couldn't believe the coverage of this concealer. The one that I got in was in the shade Cotton Candy. I didn't have a huge selection to choose from, but I felt like Cotton Candy was the most doable for underneath my eye area. I do like the applicator to this. It is got more of like a cooling effect to it. The consistency was surprisingly really soft and really easy to blend out when I was swatching it. The other thing I liked about it was that it doesn't feel very heavy. Now, that's only using it on the back of my hand, but you guys can see just the coverage that it gives. It's pretty intense. It does have a bit of a scent, which I actually just realized that right now, which I'm not really excited about, but I'm hoping that that isn't going to be super strong because it is kind of intense. I don't know. I didn't smell that. Interesting. It's not an unpleasant smell, but it is a very perfumey smell, if that makes sense. And I feel like the longer I smell it, the more of a headache I could actually get. So I don't know if that's going to linger or not. I'm definitely going to try it, but we'll see how it works. The coverage is the one thing that really got to me and the one thing I really wanted to try out for. But I can tell you right now that if the scent lingers for a lot longer, it'll definitely give me a headache. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. If you guys have tried this concealer and the scent lingers, please let me know down below. I did end up going in and picking up the Anastasia Sultry palette, you guys. I'm so excited about this because I have heard nothing but really great reviews on this. I did watch a bunch of YouTube reviews to see what people were saying about this palette, and I did not come across anything really negative about this palette. The one thing I noticed was that a lot of people mentioned that at first they didn't think they were going to like it, and then once they played around with it, it has actually become one of their favorite palettes. The other thing that reassured me was that I was in the Sephora. Just a random customer walked by me and saw me pick this up, and she was like, I just got that palette and I absolutely love it. It is amazing. You're going to love it. So that was kind of really nice to hear. So the packaging, of course, is one of the reasons why I got it, but it does have a little bit of glitter fallout. So an FYI, oh yeah, this is getting everywhere, but I don't care. It's beautiful. So here is the colors. This is, in my opinion, more of like a, well, there's the brush. When I saw this in store, I will say that this palette is way more darker than I had seen in the website. I feel like the website almost flushed out the colors a little bit because this is a much darker palette than I expected, which explains why when I saw some of the people doing eye looks, I couldn't figure out how they got eye colors so deep and dark. I really like neutral and cooler tone shadows. I think you can create a lot of great looks with this palette. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of this during Christmas time, but I'm excited to play around with it. I love that she put a black in it. I know some people like don't care if a black is in a palette or not, but I actually really like that because I am somebody that likes to have an all-in-one palette when I travel or when I take one thing with me. I always want to make sure I have a black with me. I do want to use this for a few holiday-inspired looks, so definitely see that in my upcoming tutorials. So the next thing I have is actually something my mom bought, but I was like, hey mom, can I show this on YouTube? And she's like, sure, because she was really excited about it. And it is the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil. She ended up picking up the shade How Many Carats. I was like looking at it with her and I wasn't really interested in it, but she was like, I'm done. I'm going to buy this. This is like the one thing I really, really wanted. She also did end up picking up the Face and Body Kabuki brush that goes along with this. Yeah, she totally got suckered into this, you guys. These two were sitting next to each other like this, and my mom was like, well, which one do I get? And I was like, well, get this because this is what she really wanted, but she was like, but I can't get this without this. And I was like, okay, then get them both. She's a really big fan of the Angel perfume. If you guys know that brand, Angel makes a like diamond dust powder and it has it scented like the perfume, and that is one of her favorite products. So this was actually not a surprise that she really fell in love with this. We looked at the Fenty Beauty line to see if there's anything I really wanted to get. Unfortunately, I didn't end up picking up anything else. I just wasn't really intrigued at the time. The last thing I picked up was this here, Tarte Pineapple of My Eye. This was the only holiday kit at Sephora that I saw that I really even cared for. They didn't have a whole lot of holiday kits at my local Sephora. I was looking for some of the Christmas ones and they didn't have any, or they were sold out because I didn't see any. But I saw this one and this is one of the ones I think I mentioned I kind of wanted to get because I really like the package. But that's also because it's more of like a blush topper and because I have texture. It has a combination of eyeshadows and then it's got some blushes and a bronzer. And then you get your little mini eyeliner and mascara, and it looks like you get a lipstick in here as well. So I thought it was really cute. I do like that they went a little bit different than like your Christmas inspired stuff, because I don't know, I like the idea of a pineapple. So that there is what I picked up for my holiday sale. If you guys want to see any other videos that I did in regard to the Sephora sale, I'll have them linked down below. I did my wish list, as I mentioned, and my Sephora recommendations. So they'll both be right around here somewhere, and you guys can run over and take a look at what I would recommend and what I wanted on my list. And that's all. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed before you head out, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys all in my next video. Have a safe, wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.